What's up guys, Mike here, and LeBron James opted out of his last year in Cleveland, which means big things are coming for the NBA. I mean, anytime the best player in the NBA is a free agent, you know crazy things are going to happen. So in today's video, we're gonna look at the possibilities of where LeBron might go, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on where he should go. And before we do that, I do want to say that my brand Up Next has a new signature line out. We've added 2 shirts to what we're calling the greatest of all time collection. As you can see, with these shirts, you get to make a decision who is the greatest of all time, which means you can choose to either rock a King shirt or an Air shirt. Guys, we're only going to have these shirts up for a limited time, so make sure to go to upnextbrand.com right now and rep who you think is the greatest of all time. Also, the link to upnextbrand.com will be in the description. And now let's look at where LeBron is going to go. Number 4, the Houston Rockets. Now, LeBron going to the Rockets would have made sense. As we already saw this season, the Houston Rockets are legit. They finished with the best record in the NBA. They lost in 7 games to the Warriors after a Chris Paul injury in games 6 and 7, and they already have an MVP on their roster, as well as one of the best point guards in the league, who just so happens to be one of LeBron's best friends. Unfortunately, to have gotten LeBron, Houston would have needed him to opt in, and then they would have had to trade for him, and as we know, that's no longer a possibility because he opted out. So Houston fans, I'm sorry, you're no longer a possibility, which means let's move on to number 3, the Philadelphia 76ers. Why LeBron would go there? This season, the 76ers young core massively overachieved and already proved that they are ready to take the next step and become a finals contender. Seen as a fringe playoff team headed into the season, Philadelphia won 52 games, finished 3rd in the Eastern Conference, and won a playoff series before losing to the Celtics in the 2nd round. LeBron has said that now that he is getting older, he wants to play with younger players, and the Sixers have some of the best young players in the game. Ben Simmons looks like a future star, and if he can ever develop a jump shot, he will be one of the best players in the league and a perennial MVP candidate. Dario Saric took a mini leap in his 2nd season in the league and looks to be an ideal stretch 4 in the modern NBA, as he averaged around 15 points per game and shot around 40% from 3 last year. Robert Covington, if they can re-sign him with LeBron, is the perfect role player off the bench that is the definition of a 3-and-D wing. Throw in Markelle Fultz, who is a complete unknown but was once seen as a future all-star, and the potential Philly has is undeniable, especially when you consider that we have not yet mentioned the biggest reason LeBron would want to play in Philly, the unstoppable Joel Embiid. This year, Joel proved he could stay healthy for an entire season, and he was simply dominant. Many say he's already the best center in the league. When LeBron looks at a team that could possibly beat the Warriors, he has to see Embiid as a potential game changer. Someone who can score at will if Golden State goes small and can protect the rim against anyone. Throw in the fact that the East is going to be a worse conference than the West, and that LeBron has to love his streak of going to the finals, and the Sixers do look like a solid landing spot for LeBron. Why LeBron would say no. Now, the Sixers do have a ton of buzz here in the LeBron sweepstakes, but if I'm being honest, I'm not sure I'm buying it. Yes, the talent this young Philly roster has is undeniable, but LeBron has to be afraid of 2 things. 1, would he and Ben be able to coexist on the court together? This is not the same situation as when LeBron and D-Wade were forced to learn how to play with each other in Miami. Ben is not only a bad shooter, he's horrible to the point where in the regular season he shot just 32% on only 1.9 shots a game from 10 to 14 feet. And when looking beyond 14 feet, he only took 57 shots all year. That is a major problem, as obviously LeBron needs shooters around him to help maximize his skill set. The second concern LeBron must have about the Sixers is, yeah, Embiid was healthy for this season, but he was still on a minutes restriction, and if you're LeBron, can you really trust Joel staying healthy? All it takes is one major injury to a player who's missed 2 full seasons with injuries, and boom, the Sixers are no longer competing with the Warriors. They're probably not beating the Celtics. So sure, Philly really does have a great young core, but there are definitely risks to consider here. Which brings us to the two teams I think have the best chance to end up with LeBron. Number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron has said that winning and his family's comfort are his two biggest priorities when choosing a team for next season. With Cleveland, the family comfort factor is huge. Right now, LeBron and his family live in Northeast Ohio, and his sons go to school there. What's more, Cleveland really has to feel like home to LeBron at this point. As we know, he's from Akron, he's been Cleveland's savior / franchise player for a while now, and that has to matter. The Cavs also play in the East, which would give LeBron an easier path to the finals. With that said though, if the Cavs do keep LeBron, I think big changes are going to have to happen with the current roster. It's been said that one of the reasons Cleveland took Colin Sexton in the draft is that they know Charlotte likes him. So if LeBron makes the decision to stay, I think the Cavs will also have a deal in place to trade Sexton and Jordan Clarkson to the Hornets for Kemba Walker. That would definitely improve their roster. Kemba is an all-star level talent, but in my opinion, that's not enough. I think Cleveland is also going to need to find a way to trade Kevin Love for another all-star. It's been clear to all of us that Love is not a second star LeBron can pair with to win a title. And so if Paul George decides he wants to leave OKC, maybe the Cavs can pull off a sign and trade and move Kevin Love and other salaries to OKC. But in my opinion, I think LeBron is gone. As Brian Windhorst reported, LeBron feels that he's given everything he has to Cleveland and delivered on his promise. I will not be shocked if he joins the Lakers, which means number 1, the Los Angeles Lakers / wherever Kawhi Leonard goes. This week, Jordan Schultz from Yahoo Sports reported that Kawhi Leonard reached out to LeBron and pitched him on the possibility of playing together. In the article, Schultz wrote, according to a source, Leonard pitched LeBron on his incredible defensive ability and how it would alleviate the pressure on James. And that makes perfect sense. When healthy, Kawhi has proven to be the best two-way player in the league. He's a legitimate offensive superstar and absolute lockdown defender. For real, let's not sleep on just how good Kawhi has been in his prime thus far. The man is full of championship experience and is not afraid of the moment. In 2014, he was awarded the Finals MVP in just his 3rd season after he played incredible defense on LeBron and stepped up his offensive game in a 5-game Spurs series win. From there, he was asked to become the top dog on the Spurs offense, and he responded by finishing 2nd place in the MVP voting in 2016 and 3rd place in 2017. The only concern, of course, would be his injury, but if the Spurs or Lakers are willing to offer him the Supermax, then that has to mean they've done their due diligence, and I wouldn't be worried there if I was LeBron. Really, I cannot understate just how perfect Kawhi would be with LeBron, as unlike the other superstars he could potentially pair with, Kawhi is used to sharing the spotlight and certainly has the talent to give LeBron a 1-2 punch that could pair up with anyone. Which means if the Spurs really do pull the trigger and trade Kawhi, it would make perfect sense for LeBron to join him because the two would wreak havoc together. And yes, the Lakers have been the main team stepping up in trying to trade for Kawhi, but if he ended up on a team like the Sixers, then if I were LeBron, I would still join him. As for the Lakers, well, the rumors that LeBron is leaving for LA have been overwhelming. We've heard that LeBron's son might choose to play for Sierra Canyon, a basketball powerhouse that just so happens to be located in Los Angeles. We've heard that LeBron wants to start working on his life after basketball, that he wants to build a media empire, and that LA is the place to be for him to do that. And we know that the Lakers have the cap room to not only sign LeBron, but they could also sign a second star player like Paul George or DeMarcus Cousins. It's a common saying that where there's smoke, there's fire, and the smoke surrounding LeBron and the Lakers is so thick that you can barely see through it. And in my opinion, it really does make perfect sense for LeBron to leave for LA. If he can get a second star to sign with him, the Lakers have the assets to make a move for another star player. It's a very real possibility that LA winds up with a new big three for next season. Sure, they'd have to trade away some salary to make that happen, but if they have a chance to get a big three like LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George, or LeBron, Kawhi, and DeMarcus Cousins, which would make them title contenders, then they're going to do it. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to go check out my brand, upnextbrand.com, and go choose who you think is the GOAT. Other than that, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. All off season, we're going to be doing NBA videos like this, plus I've got a ton planned. It's going to be awesome. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day and cue that music.